few weird memories.
Like?
I remember a toy cash register, and you could put in coins.
And that rang with you?
It did.
Okay.
Money was fascinating at an early age. Oh, I do remember some. I remember a forest in our backyard.
With leaves?
I'm sure there were leaves. It was a forest.
We
I don't remember the
We
leaves.
piled up the leaves
Yeah,
and y'all
I've seen
played
that.
the leaves.
Yeah, I've seen that photo.
You don't
really
remember that?
No, I have a memory of that little forest thing. There was like a path or something going through it. Yeah, okay. I remember one time I was really cold and my teeth were chattering. And I remember the teachers looking at me like, what's wrong with this kid? Because I wouldn't stop. My teeth wouldn't stop chattering. That's all I remember.
England made an impression, huh?
Oh wait, and then I remember we were taking naps. Don't ask me why I remember these things. We were taking naps. We would always take a nap, and I didn't like it because I never fell asleep. And then I distinctly remember falling asleep one time. That's my story.
That was the first comment we had from a teacher saying that you were an exceptional kid.
That's right.
Right. Do you remember that?
No.
Oh.
Yeah, no. Going to the rec centers and all kinds of stuff. School.
Okay, you were a good soccer player.
Played soccer. Yeah. We played cops and robbers. I was on the track team. I was on the Knowledge Bowl team. Yeah.
You were on a track team? I didn't know they had one.
Yeah.
Who did you run against?
We ran against like the different, Rostanura and Abcake. And
I wasn't aware of that.
yeah.
Yeah, okay.
I only did track for 1 year. 8th grade. That was 8th grade. That's when I stopped soccer. I didn't do soccer in 8th grade, and I did track in 8th grade. 400 meter was my specialty.
Quarter.
1 lap. Yes.
So what was your best time? Remember?
I think it was 66 seconds.
Is that, did you win?
I got 2nd place. And the funny thing is, the person who beat me I knew, and I had been beating him all year long. And then in the finals, he beat me. Kids World Cup for soccer. We went to Holland.
Okay. And you didn't get along with your coach?
No, I think I got along with him fine. I remember not liking the position he put me in.
Which was?
Left back.
And you wanted?
Sweeper.
Did he finally let you play sweeper? No. Did y'all win anything?
We won 2 games and lost 2. And then we were out.
Did you tell him that was the reason why?
No.
Because you weren't sweeper? No. Okay, so did you enjoy soccer?
Yeah.
You were really good in Saudi, locally.
Yeah.
You played on the All-Star team, right? And you were the star of the All-Star team? Yes, you were. Anything else in Saudi
Yeah,
that you remember?
Yeah, I like the rec areas with the swimming pools and the high dive and the spray fields. Go out in the spray fields and play games and catch insects and catch frogs.
That's where you went to get bugs.
We
Butterflies.
had an insect project, I think, in 7th grade. We played cops and robbers a lot. The first day we had, I guess it was, I don't know what you call it, it's not even the first day, it's before school starts. You go in, you learn where your classes are, and you meet the teachers. And I remember specifically going to the social studies, I think this was 7th grade, social studies, and Mr. Pastorino would talk. And I was holding back my laughter the whole time because he was so flamboyant and
Pastorino. I don't remember. Name.
He was bald, or had like hair on the sides, balding. He was very flamboyant, I think is a good word.
What was his
social
subject?
studies? Psychology, sociology, and stuff like that. And we did current events, had to give a summary of some current event topic, standing in front of the class. That was always the big scary thing in this class, because you had to speak in front of the others. It wasn't a big deal. But anyway, it's Joe Pastorino. I like Mr. Gumball. We called him Mr. Gumball. He was a really good science teacher. I think he had fantastic stories. And, I'm sure I'm missing others, but yeah, had a lot of good teachers.
Yeah.
I remember Mr. Bieniak was our PE teacher. He was like overweight, but it was funny because he would run the mile in under 10 minutes, and he would do a 10-minute pace. Basically, you had to beat him. He was the pace setter. You have to do it. That was a requirement. You had to run a mile in under 10 minutes.
To pass his class, or?
I don't know. I don't think he said anything. He just said, you have to run it in under 10 minutes. That wasn't a problem for us. But I kind of like that he would go out there and
Participate.
And I remember he was actually very skilled. He would shoot free throws and just keep training them. But he was clearly overweight and didn't look athletic at all. It's funny.
Things outside of the compound.
Outside the compound, yeah, of course. Kobar and the souks. And
So what did you do in the souks?
Baskin Robbins. And
Eating ice cream.
The Mississippi Mud, and there was the toy store next to it called Toy Town. I think it's called Toy Town.
I remember.
Yeah. I thought that place was fantastic. And I heard that area, the souks in Toy Town, were hit by a Scud missile in the Iraq War. Or the Persian Gulf War. I don't know if it was true or not. And then the Chinese restaurant we would eat at during prayer time. I'd get the beef and onions.
Yeah, I remember. I always got the
Shrimp.
shrimp.
The big shrimp. Yeah, that's kind of when I really started doing computer stuff. The Mac, we got the Mac 2CI, and then we got a 386 PC with DOS. Didn't even have Windows.
What was that program you wrote up where you got in the boat and rowed across?
Yeah, it's called, I don't know what I called it. Crossings or something. Yeah.
You did that on the
Mac 2CI in Pascal.
Florida. University of Florida.
Yes.
You went for how many years? 5?
6.
6 years. Why so long?
I got my master's.
Okay. That's right. Got your master's. And what?
Electrical and computer engineering.
That was a tough row.
No, I didn't think so.
And you did well. How well?
I don't know. What do you mean, like my GPA?
What was your GPA?
3.9.
3.99.
Oh, I don't know, 3.93. 3.9 something.
So where were you in the rankings?
Near the top. I mean, as far as GPAs were concerned. I remember my first class, my circuits class, and being like before the first test, just being completely lost. It wasn't. I mean, I kind of understood. They went over resistors and some formulas and some capacitors, and then they just talked about op amps, and I was just getting confused and lost. And there were students who seemed like they knew everything about it, and they'd obviously had learned about it before or actually fiddled with it before, and I felt like I was like, this is not for me.
This was your first, when you were a freshman?
No, I'd gone through all the prerequisites. This was like the first actual electronics class. Circuits 1. But anyway, I remember thinking all these students somehow understand it all and I'm not getting it. But then I just
Started getting it?
Well, I went to the teaching assistant and I just kind of got over this hump. And then I...
You went to a teaching assistant? Or you started teaching?
No, went to a teaching all the classes have teaching assistants. And you can go there, they're just after hours or whatever. And they'll help you with any problems you're having.
Yeah.
Which is good. I finally understood it a little bit. And then the tests would come and I would get A's on the tests, and the guys who sounded like know-it-alls in class were getting C's and stuff. It's weird. I don't get it.
Well, that must have been satisfying.
Yeah, I mean, I can apply formulas, and a lot of times I wouldn't completely grasp it, but I could solve the problems.
Right.
Which was not the best, but...
Right. I had a similar experience. But that was about mainly computers, right?
Not circuits, it was mostly hardware. I mean, computers are hardware, but it wasn't... So we took a class called like microprocessors. It was more, I would say, computers.
More about wires than about keyboards
More
and
about...
mice.
There was two classes. There was one where we actually built the very basic using gates, just create the basic logics and gates, NOR gates, OR gates and stuff. And then from there you build a little bit more complex, and eventually an ALU, which is an arithmetic logic unit, and then you eventually build a mini computer, which was kind of neat, starting from the very...
Is that in one class?
One class, yeah. Starting from the very basics, which was nice. Digital logic was fun. That's where that was kind of a lot of the basics of understanding how computers work. And the programs used VHDL, which is it's basically a language for designing circuits.
Hardware?
Yeah, it's become kind of commoditized.
Or you just buy it, it's off the shelf.
Yeah, it's become... I think our industry it's all about the software.
And the language now. What did you learn in college? What language?
So
Coding
assembly.
language, huh?
Assembly. Actually, that's...
You did everything in assembly?
So for our microprocessors class, we did everything in assembly. And then, I mean, you can take language courses that are more with the C, computer science area. But for electrical and computer engineering, I don't think we had to take any high level. But I ended up taking C and Java. Probably. But Java's been around for a while.
So, what did you do with... why were you interested in computers? And
What?
coding? No? Yeah? Why?
I think you got me interested in it a lot.
Okay. Just the environment thing.
Well, yeah. So, I mean, you got me interested in it, and I kind of,
So-
I enjoyed
Yeah.
it.
But you excelled at it also.
Well, I enjoyed it. Yeah, which helps.
Yeah.
The Commodore 64, I had started doing BASIC. That was in Saudi.
Commodore 64.
And then we did some programs in BASIC on the Mac, 512K. And then I started really doing, I liked Pascal. So I was doing Pascal on the Mac 2CI and the 386.
Okay.
So that's why, and then I was trying to figure out what to do for a degree, and you suggested that I do electrical engineering, electrical and computer. Yeah, you said
Good.
do electrical because even with that degree, you can still do programming.
Well, you didn't do any sports in college?
Yeah, I did lots actually.
What?
Did a lot of intramural. Nothing. I mean, I didn't. UofF was too competitive for me to actually be on any sports teams. But I did intramural soccer, basketball. Played a lot of basketball. Softball. Played golf.
Yeah, you got pretty good at golf, didn't you?
It was fun.
You still play it?
No, a couple times a year. I'll go play a round of 9. And it's fun. I worked at Sonic and I did tutoring. My first real job was Motorola,
Right. And where?
South Florida.
What about, back in UofF, what was the difference between undergraduate and graduate work? Or was that just a continuation?
Yeah, it's just a continuation.
Wasn't harder, easier?
Actually, I think my GPA in grad school was higher than in undergrad.
GPA in high school
In grad school,
was higher than...
undergrad. So no, I don't think it was harder. If anything, I think it was easier. I don't know why.
Did you write a thesis or did you...
I had a honors thesis. Yes. Would you like to see it?
You have it?
Uh-huh.
Was it published?
No.
But you had it bound,
Yes.
so it was on its way to being published.
Something. I don't know.
What was it on?
It was. I don't even remember. I think it
Dear
was
to
on.
your heart, huh?
Yeah. I didn't enjoy it.
For
I
you.
thought it was silly. I didn't. It was then that I knew I didn't want to do research. I liked more practical, hands-on stuff. I much enjoyed teaching assistant and working in the lab rather than research.
You did well in Motorola.
Uh-huh. I think I did very well.
You start out making...
My first, I made 64,000.
You started out of college with a master's degree, making 64K. And when you quit Motorola, percentage, how much? Total improvement?
I don't know. I don't know how much I was making.
But you're doing well.
Yes.
And why did you quit?
I didn't quit. I got laid off. They closed down. We had the
Plantation.
mass layoff.
The whole... Okay.
Well, not everything. There was certain groups. The entire group got laid off. And I was in one of those groups. It was a big mix-up. Or not a mix-up. I guess a mix-up. But they were just trying to save the company because Motorola wasn't doing well.
Which department? The cell phone?
Cell phone.
Cell
Yeah,
phone.
started to struggle. especially when Nextel got bought out by Sprint. Because we were the Nextel division, the ones with the walkie-talkies. If you remember those.
No.
And then they got bought out by Sprint, and they were trying to kill the whole PTT walkie-talkie feature. Mostly because they didn't see a feature in it. Unfortunately, that was kind of the cash cow of our group, or maybe even the whole
company
of the cell phone division. We were making a lot of cash, bringing in a lot of cash, and then just, I don't know, things just started to fall apart. There was a lot of bad decisions. I remember specifically a guy named Ron Garriggs was like our head of the mobile devices unit, and he was saying that when Apple, it was their very first foray into cell phones. They joined with Motorola and produced the Moto Rocker. I think because Apple was known for the iPod and iTunes, and they were big into music. And Motorola had the cell phones, and so they made the Moto Rocker, which was like a music phone. And apparently that whole thing was a mini disaster, and I remember the head of our division saying that Apple had no clue on how to deal with the cell phone industry. So we knew we were being laid off, and it was a great opportunity to plan my trip to Costa Rica.
And that was how long? How long did you
4
spend
months.
there? What did you do down
Study, volunteer a little bit, and then you came down at the end of that trip, and we vacationed.
there? But you lived in a home. You did one of those.
Yes, immersion programs
Yeah.
where I do 4 hours of classes, live with a family, and leave
4
off
hours of classes a day or a week?
a day.
For how long?
4 hours.
No. How many days? A month? The school lasted a month?
3 months. 3 months.
3 months. Woo.
Yeah.
4 hours a day, 5 days a week?
Uh-huh. You think I know Spanish?
Well, you don't think you do?
I think I do okay.
Well, I think you do okay.
It's hard. And then there was...
Is language as hard to learn as, say, computer work? Say, programming?
Programming is way easier. Language is so hard.
It's your aptitude, I guess.
It's just, yeah, I think also the way, just the way my brain works. I struggle with language, but I enjoy it. So I keep doing it.
No.
It's my life goal. Continue. I'll just
Your
do
what?
Life goal. Just continue doing a little bit of Spanish. Keep it up.
And that was, when did you go to work from?
I started in 2009.
Okay, you're 16.
Yeah. I was there for 7 years. Which was enough. I was just ready for something new. Getting tired. Plus I like to work in groups and more with people, I think.
It's too small a group.
It's a small group and I was working from home.
Oh, yeah.
And that combined with didn't believe in the new project we were on.
But did you learn a lot with ARM?
Yeah. I learned a lot. I think I learned more at ARM than Motorola. Different stuff. But it was a smaller group and a smaller project, so I was involved in more stuff. So in that aspect, I learned more. I like the smaller stuff where I can get my hands in a lot of different stuff. So the Motorola, I did a lot interfacing with hardware teams, which I didn't do here at ARM.
I saw you though with your computer on your broken down on your desk?
No, those are just prototype boards, but I wasn't doing any hardware. There's no very little hardware at ARM.
Hmm.
I mean, ARM is a hardware company, but not the group I worked for. I worked in the software group with ARM.
Okay. And what about ARM that you like? What was the best thing about ARM?
Yeah, the small group, learned a lot. We were very agile. The manager, we had good managers, and I learned a lot from the managers. Very much of the attitude of some minimal process and just get things done.
And
He had a good attitude of not worrying about not afraid if it's like, if there was a better design, throw away all the code, start it from scratch. And we could do that because we had a small project. You can't do that with a massive project, but with a small project, I think that's a good attitude to have because we could rewrite everything quickly. Or at least, not the whole thing, but sections of it we would toss out and rewrite from scratch. And a week later have it done and it'd be a lot cleaner and faster and safer. Clean.
I remember that guy came flying out. One time I went over to pick you up. I had your car for the day. I went to pick you up at work, and this guy came out, and he was talking about you. This little guy looked like maybe he was emptied the trash barrels or something.
Okay.
It was that little guy, and he says, "Yeah, he's big here at ARM. He's got movie star status."
That might have been Lance, who's like our jokester of the group. Not the joke, he's like the comedian guy. I don't know.
Yeah, he was
There was some
real impressed. Okay, now then, that's work. Have you enjoyed your work so far?
Yeah. Yeah, it's weird. It's like Motorola starts out really great. Love my job. Wake up. I actually excited for Monday. I enjoy working there, and then eventually I kind of get tired of it. I was a little concerned, but as soon as I started up at ARM again, I just loved it.
When is your next dive?
Scuba dive?
Yeah.
I don't know. I should go again. It's been a while. It's been like a year and a half. I should go down and meet up with Arnie and go scuba diving in that area, San Francisco area, or
Arnie?
the Monterey Bay area.
Red guy, didn't he?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, look, that was all dirty down there.
No. I mean, it's not tropical with tons of coral reefs, but I think it's a lot of kelp. You can swim with. There's a lot of fish. There's some fish. Not as much as corals, but you can swim with like the seals and sea lions. And it's cold water.
Whales.
You have to put on the wetsuit with the hood.
What's the temperature of the water there? 50s?
No, it's probably 60.
Low
Low
60s.
60s. Which after a while is cold. So running used to be my hobby until my knee problems. I used to run all the time.
Every day.
Not every day, but definitely 3 times a week. Sometimes 5 times a week.
And the doctors say you'll never be able to run again?
He said I shouldn't run again. He said I should not run. because it's just going to do more damage to my knee faster and accelerate the time to which I would need a knee replacement.
So eventually you're going to have to replace the
That's
thing?
what he says. Yes. Especially since I keep hiking and running. So I was running a little bit, but now I think I'm going to stop completely. Now I would do like 3 miles a week or at a slow pace.
Sometimes I think these doctors, they get something like bad knees, and all they can do is sort of treat the pain, treat the symptoms,
Yes.
and then something like knee replacement comes along that does away with all that. And so then they just fall back on that, and they don't recognize any other sort of remedy.
Yeah.
And they just, either aspirin works or you get your knee replaced.
I know, and so I kind of had the same idea, and I couldn't believe that we didn't have any technology or anything to alleviate my problem. And then there is, like I did research, and the doctor recommended, or he said consider arthroscopy, where they go in and clean up the little torn areas and stuff like that. Anyway, there's a surgery called arthroscopy. So I did that. That was a mistake.
It was a mistake?
Yeah. It didn't help, and then I had the blood clot.
You're doing one of your hobbies, which was finance.
Finance.
You're doing...
Yeah, it's like another lifetime thing where I enjoy it. I enjoy...
making money.
Yeah. It's... and I haven't done the math, but who knows, I might have been just as good off putting it all in an ETF that tracks the market. I should do that calculation to see if it would be equal. But even if it was equal, I'd still do stocks because I enjoy it. I enjoy researching them and learning about the business and the business plans and how they supposedly have an edge in the market, and it's just fun.
And if not, you can always play poker.
And yeah, poker's it's fun.
What is it you like about poker? It's a
whole
boring game to me. It's one of the most boring games I've ever played.
Yeah. Sure, if there was no money involved, or there's no... that's not true. Even without money, as long as you're not gambling, but betting,
competing.
It's the bluffing that makes it fun. But with the money behind it, it makes it more thrilling.
Sure.
What I'd love to do is I still think there's no good program out there for learning languages. To me, that seems like an opportunity that I would like to do.
Oh my God! They have these.
I know. Rosetta Stone and Duolingo and Fluencia, and I don't like any of them. And I think I've identified some key things which I think are wrong that they haven't done, which I think could be better. So I'd love to get with a group of smart people and actually build something. And I think a lot of people want to learn another language and are willing to pay to do so. So that would be my dream job. I don't know if I can get on.
13 places where you've been.
Uh-huh.
And a lot of them more than once. And let me guess. The one you like the best. Probably Costa Rica.
Yeah. Costa Rica is good.
Did you travel anywhere? Is that what the Bahamas? You traveled there to dive?
Yeah, but I think every time I've gone to Bahamas, I've dove.
How many times have you gone
dived?
to Bahamas?
3, 4.
They're all diving trips?
Uh-huh. I think so. I think there was one where I went on a cruise and I didn't dive. We did like stingrays or something. There was no diving. It's just snorkeling.
Chicago, you went there to run. You won't be doing that one.
No.
again.
Yeah. I did my marathon.
So you'll probably be going mainly to what? No.
See, I wish they would do the stem cell research and get that to fix my knee, rebuild my cartilage, and rebuild my knee.
Yeah.
I'd be back running in a heartbeat.
Well, there's some hope
There's
for
some-
you.
Yeah, I did some research, and basically, while the research is promising, all the trials and the success on patients is abysmal.
You mean it's
Just doesn't
a
work.
way in the future, or it's just
I think so. Yeah.
it's not doesn't look like it's going to be a success.
No. It looks like it's going to be a success.
It's going to take time.
It's going to take time.
Well, you got time. You got a year.
Hopefully more than that.
Okay. And the worst one, I take it, was Peru.
No, Peru's good. We went there. We just went in the wrong time of the year, so we went in the rainy season.
Why'd you do that?
Well, it was the time that we had, and yeah, it's just the way the time lined up. And I did some research, and I thought it would be okay. Which I read some things, and they say, "Oh yeah, go to the Amazon any time of year is fine," and I disagree. You know, because the Amazon was flooded and all the animals were dispersed, and it was just insects. I mean, it was beautiful, but yeah, if you want to see animals, that was not the time of year to go. You would think the Amazon would be full of animals, and we didn't. We hardly saw a bird.
Really?
Yeah. No, Peru is good, and I would actually go back there, but I would go the right time of the year, and I'd go to Cusco and Machu Picchu area.
England?
England?
That was with soccer, though, wasn't it?
No.
And
No.
when we lived there, which you don't
Well, we lived
remember.
there, and I worked for Arm, which is a British company, so I flew there a lot.
Oh, yeah. That's right. You liked?
Yeah.
You liked working there?
Yeah, I mean, it gave me an opportunity to travel to Cambridge and York and Manchester, some of the, well, not London. So I got to see parts of England that weren't London. I still didn't drive there. That would have been fun to drive in a heavily congested area, trying to drive on the left-hand side, going around the roundabouts the wrong way. That would have been fun.
Was you with me when we were driving? I went downtown London. Holy
I don't
cow.
I don't remember. So I must have
Boy,
not
I do.
been with you.
I drove around Piccadilly Circus.
Uh-huh.
That's dead center
Of-
of traffic.
Uh-huh.
Sheesh. It actually wasn't all that bad.
I'm sure it's fine. People are watching out for you.
Yeah, my reputation had spread clear over there. Right? Let's see. So, China. You like China?
Yeah. I mean, it's different. It's very congested. But I went to Nanjing and Beijing, so it would have been fun to go out in the country.
So you like the people?
Yeah. I mean, I couldn't communicate with most of them. But the people I could communicate with, yeah, they're very friendly. They drank more than I was expecting.
Smoked a lot.
Smoked a lot. You always think that it's the European type people who drink a lot. No. And their favorite beer. Guess their favorite beer?
Lone Star.
No. A little more famous than that. It's an American
Shiner Bock.
Budweiser.
Oh well.
It was like, that was the beer to get. It was the premium beer. And then here, of course, nobody likes it.
I guess you like Mexico.
Yeah, every time I've gone to Mexico, I've been pleasantly surprised. You hear about
All the problems.
Yeah, you hear about the problems and stuff, and every time I've traveled there, it's very different.
You liked it.
The food's good. The food's better than I expect. The people are great.
What would you like the future to be?
I don't know, a great job. I guess I need to get married. Have to find somebody. No, that would be nice. I think I've improved a lot. So
You won't run off.
Won't run off my girls.
Won't run off your Diana again, huh?
Yeah, sure.
What was the lesson you learned there with her?
The lesson is, I don't know, a lot of things. Communication is a big one, which everybody says, but yeah, communication is quite important. Well, also commitment. You have to be in the correct mindset. I guess so I'd like to get a good job. That could be my 40s. In my 50s, would be fun to open up a Airbnb or a bed and breakfast and manage that. That would be fun for some reason, I don't know why. In a foreign country.
Like Spain.
Sure. Or Costa Rica or something. Build a really nice, top of the line bed and breakfast, but keep it so I think there's a lot of Americans who will go down there and they build really nice stuff, but it's very American. I want to build a really nice one that's very Costa Rican. It still has, all the food is Costa Rican and the
Local.
yeah, it still has you feel like you're in Costa Rica, but still have it very nice. Anyway.